Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Take 10 Tuesday. So today I'm going to be using 10 specialty papers, which I'm just going to be honest, I thought it was going to be a lot easier picking out the papers than it was. So let me show you what I have. Paper number one is this embossed paper. You put ink on it so that has a resist, so it's a resist paper. I have this kind of mulberry paper. Not sure if I'm going to use the stripy side or the plain side or what yet. I have a sheet of plain 12 by 12 acetate. I have this pink champagne specialty paper from Tonic. I have this specialty paper. I'm not exactly sure. It feels, I don't know what it is, but it's a specialty paper. I've got this gold on craft. I've got some vellum. I've got this gold laser cut thing. I've got this fabric-y paper, and I also have this green metallic, and I have no idea if this is doing anything funky to the camera, so I'm sorry if it is. So those are my 10 specialty papers. I've pulled out my Punta Cana kit, so let's see what I can do. All right, guys, let's get this layout started. So I'm using some sprays, and neither one of these sprays do what I want it to do. I want it to ink on the paper, and I want it to wipe off the embossed parts. Now, to be fair, these papers are old. I don't even remember who the manufacturer is. So I don't know if it's a time thing. I don't know if it's a type of ink that I use thing. But I'm not messing around with it and trying to figure it out. I'm just going to add some of that green in, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to try a different color green. Well, the next color green is the same exact color green as the first one that I used. So I just decide to put this green all the way across the page. I'm not really concerned anymore. It's not doing what I wanted it to, so I am embracing it. And I will truly embrace it by adding even more green to this page, more than I thought. This is going to be a full shaker pocket page, which is, sometimes that can be fun. I think that this one is fun. This is going in the Punta Cana album, so it's a little bit different, and that's okay. Some of the Punta Cana pages I feel like are really like soft and romantical. Some of them are a little bit more in your face. Some of them are just going to be funky like a full shaker pocket. And that is going to be just fine with me because variety is the spice of life. Now, every time I say that or hear it, I remember my old Apple IIc computer, and there was something on it that said variety is the spice of life. And like I can see the screen moving and I can see what it did. Like it just brings back a very visceral memory for me. Anyway, I did go ahead and cut that Chatterbox Scrapbook Walls paper down so that it was an inch around. And then I'm going to put it straight on top of my acetate paper. So this is a 12 by 12 piece of acetate paper. Or I guess that doesn't really make sense, acetate paper. It's a 12 by 12 sheet of acetate. And I do just use my ATG to put the border around it. And what this is going to do is give me some place to go ahead and place my foam tape so that I can actually make the shaker. So I definitely wanted to make full page shakers with this 12 by 12 acetate. This is not exactly what I had in mind to do that with, but that's fine. Like I have a stencil coming out in around the middle of December. November 15th is my when I'm releasing the holiday release, and it's going to have some stencils that might not necessarily be holiday related in it, but there's a stencil that I really want to do some things with on this acetate. So can't wait until that happens, because then I can actually do the idea I had with the acetate. So I am using a big giant roll of foam tape. Now you could use pop foam on here. You could use, what is that stuff called? Fun foam. You could even just stack up paper if you didn't have any foam in your life. Whatever you need to do to go ahead and create a pocket for your shaker bits to go in. So now I have the shaker bits in. You can see my overhead lights. I am definitely sorry for the glare that goes on throughout this video, guys. I did not think about the specialty papers kind of interacting with the lights. But you know, it's just, you just got to do the things. I am going to camouflage the text that is on this page, and I'm going to do that by building up some paper layers on the background. So these paper layers will be in my shaker pocket. So the whole point of me doing this is so that there is some decoration inside the pocket as well as outside the pocket. I am going to use the khaki cardstock with the gold foil on top of it. I run that through my die cut machine with this really awesome Spellbinders embossing folder. It is a 5.5 by 8.5 inch embossing folder, and it is fabulous. Look at that. It embossed that paper so beautifully. So I'm going to put that down here. So as you can see, I covered up all of the decorative bits over on the right-hand side. When I put the top of the shaker page on top of there, you won't see any of it. Now, I did decide that I needed to bring in the vellum inside the shaker pocket instead of outside the shaker pocket. And I wasn't really sure if I wanted to layer it so that it was only a little bit peeking out, or I wanted it to be a big statement on the page. Ultimately, I decided that I just wanted it to poke out a little bit, and this is when my ATG decides to be a butt, and I just get frustrated with it. It actually peeled up the vellum, and the vellum started to go inside the ATG, and that ticked me off, so you know, stress. I know that people are like, well, it's the ATG, blah, blah, blah. And it's fine. It is the ATG. And I have, even though I struggle with my ATG sometimes, I scrapbook a lot, you guys. I scrapbook a lot. And I have found it by far to be the most economical for me, for the way that I use adhesive and the way that I scrapbook. And I don't want to spend a whole ton of money on ATG tape, right? Like, I just don't. It's why I buy it from myself at my own store. So, yeah, that's going to be up again on the website on the 15th as well, just in case anybody was needing some cheaper ATG tape. It is off-brand, but works for me. So anyway, I am going to camouflage the part up here up on the left-hand side as well. And then I decided that putting the gold over there wasn't enough camouflage, so I need to go ahead and put vellum under there too. And then that is going to give me a certain kind of look, and I am totally good with the look that it gives me. Now, this is a chandelier in the outside kind of walkway / lobby area at our resort, and I thought it was a wild light fixture, so I have a close-up photo and then one from a little bit farther away. So I decided to place these two photos next to each other, but not touching. So I do have the pink all the way around both photos. And this is something I used to do a lot back in the day if I had two photos together. And then I kind of moved to touching and then overlapping. But every once in a while, I kind of go back to the roots. But now I need to get my shaker put together because the photo is not going to be in the shaker pocket. The photo is going to be on the outside of the shaker pocket. So I need to peel off the sticky back from the foam tape roll. Now this foam tape roll did come from Brutus Monroe and it is ridiculous. I am not going to lie, it is sticky like a mofo. And I use my cutter pillar scissors to peel it off because the scissors are non-stick. And that foam it sticks. Like, it sticks. Like, sticks. I cannot express to you how much it sticks. And that is a turnoff for some people in their foam tape. For me, for shaker pockets, that's exactly what I want. I want that stuff to stick. Like, I don't want it to let loose. I want it to hold on to my stuff so I don't lose my little shaker bits. Now, I am trying to figure out what I want to put in here because let's face it, this is a big shaker pocket and I need to put a good amount of shakers in there for it to work. So I have these diamond dots. I got them on clearance and I paid 19 cents a jar, right? Because I got them on clearance. And I decided to dump in the entire bottle of diamond dots, and that was 19 cents on that page. So I don't care though. I used it up and I like it. I also added in a secondary diamond dot color. Now that was a diamond dot that I had given Crystal, and she was just so nice enough to give me some back in a little Ziploc baggie. So I used that color. Go me. And then I put some little shimmery bits in there as well, just to break it up a little bit and have a different kind of texture in there. Now, I will tell you guys that diamond dots are flat on one side. They are used for diamond painting. So if you have a problem where you want only like the faceted side of something showing, this is not going to be the filler for you. But like I said, it is super cheap. 19 cents. Can't beat that. So I just went ahead and went with that. Now I am going to use some water. Not some water. I'm not using water. I'm using glue. Come on. I am going to use a wet glue on the back of the specialty paper and place it on top of the acetate and the paper here. So a good amount of that beautiful embossed thing is covered up, which makes me sad, but I have the embossing folder and I have more of that kind of paper, so I can create that look anytime I want. I also want to try it with some vellum to see how that turns out, because I do love me some embossed vellum. It's so pretty. So now I'm going to use this paper, and if you remember at the intro, I couldn't figure out what the paper was exactly because it felt a little funky. Well, that's because I'm a ding-dong, and it is sticker paper, and I discover that when I end up trying to pick up the triangle that I cut out, and the sticker backing stays behind. So, surprise, it's sticker paper. I am cutting out 3 triangles for 2 of the corners of this layout. And that's going to just give me a little space to create some embellishment. Now, do I need to put any embellishment on this layout? Heck no, I don't, because it's a whole page shaker pocket, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff going on in that background. It's going to shake. It's gonna be there. It's going to be sparkly. I got stuff in the shaker pocket. I got papers. I got specialty papers coming out my ears. And I lost what I was just saying. I hate when that happens. I hate when you're going along and you're talking and your brain blanks. So I don't know what's worse. Your brain blanks while you're talking, or your brain gets so far ahead of your mouth that it doesn't come out right. Both things happen to me. I don't know which one's worse. Or maybe they're both equal. Who knows? But both of those things happen. So when I discover that this is sticker paper, I do peel off the sticker paper backings and sticker the triangles right on top of the layout. So this is going to give me a little bit of a base for some embellishment. I'm not going to go crazy with the embellishment because there's a lot of stuff going on. And I think that was the point I was trying to make earlier when my brain blanked on me. So now I also have realized that I have not used this green mirror paper yet. And I almost switched it out for a different specialty paper and would have been totally fine with that because I still would have been using 10 specialty papers. But I decided to kind of cheat and, well, I put it off to the side, but I do use my Sizzix Sidekick. I don't know if you can see the cutting plate well, but I have used, I'm playing with the plates, sorry for the noise. I have used the Sizzix Sidekick a bunch. So I am really excited. I'm so glad I bought it. I have a big Sizzix, and I also have a Gemini, which is an electronic die cutting machine that my plates broke, and I still have not replaced the plates. But this little guy, it's a little workhorse. I love the fact that it sits right here on my desk. It is super easy to use. Most of the dies that I use are smaller and they fit through here, which works, you know, great. Like, I love that fact. So super handy, like I said. So I cut out the word wow out of the fabric paper, which is also adhesive backed. I did know that that was adhesive backed. Like, your girl knew that one, just didn't know about the other one. So I do spell out the word wow, because I really do think that's what I said when I saw the light. I was like, wow. And it wasn't a wow, that is absolutely gorgeous and I want to recreate it in my home. It was like, wow, that is a statement. It's not terrible. It's not ugly. It's definitely not my style, but it works. It works at our resort in Punta Cana, and it is that kind of wow. Does that make sense? So a wow doesn't necessarily have to be good, and a wow doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Like, it can be its own thing. It can be its own thing. So I go ahead and get that down there. And I'm going to add some more things to add to that title. So it's not just going to be a wow title. There are going to be other things on there. So this is where I cheat. Oop, you can see my face. And I am going to use a punch and punch out a couple hearts. Now, I'm not even using the full part of the paper. I am using the little paper pad connector section of the paper. Is that cheating? No, it's not, because it is still the specialty paper. So if you got a problem with it, like, tough, right? Like, it doesn't matter. It's my Take 10 Tuesday. It's my rules. It's my layout. And if you think I'm cheating on my own game, then, oh well, right? Like, who cares? Who cares? And you know what? Who cares even if it is cheating? It's my series and my layout, so I can do what I want. Which is why I do have trouble with YouTube series after a while, because I don't want to continue to follow the rules. I want to do my own thing. Yeah. So I do. Side note, that isn't everything in life for me, but with scrapbooking, it totally is. Right? Like, it totally is. I don't like the monotony. I like to do different things. I think that's why sometimes layouts are so flat and sometimes layouts are bumpy. Sometimes I got a full page shaker pocket. Sometimes I got mixed media, like, explosion. And sometimes I don't. It's just because I don't like the same thing over and over and over again. Food? No. You feed me steak and potatoes every single day, and your girl will be a happy, happy girl. I told some of the girls at work that French fries were my love language, and that's true too. Like, your girl loves meat and potatoes, right? Like, I am in a meat and a potatoes kind of gal. Anyway, I am definitely rabbit trailing here, and I have not looked down at the layout for a while. So hopefully I haven't done anything ridiculous that you couldn't tell what I was doing. I did add those leaf stickers just to give it a little bit more of a tropical vibe, and then some little dots. And then that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.